Welcome everyone to episode 7 of our Apocalypse World RPG miniseries in this Twilight. We find our intrepid bands of scoundrels, murderers, and thieves, heroes-ish, in perfect health. No, actually, one of them, Sir, is got some weird brain disease, escalates in jail, Spouse is about to be executed, and Amelia is currently wanted. Yeah, sorry. As I'm being reminded in chat, we're our intrepid band of murder hobos in the D&D tradition. So yeah, let's jump into our beginning of session bookkeeping, and then let's find out what horrible, gruesome fates is going to befall our murder hobos. So let me pull up my little helpful checklist, and we can start on the top left. Nope. Top. I don't know. I think this is backwards. I'm gonna start in this corner with Escalade.
Yep, you're pointing in the right direction.
Thanks. So Escalade, your lifestyle, normally you would have to spend 1 or 2 barter, but you are currently in prison doing hard labor. So I think your lifestyle is taken care of. But we still have to do highlighting stats and all that good stuff. So for you, I'll highlight sharp. Why not? And who is your highest hex? Spaz, highlight a stat for Escalade.
You did sharp. So far, Escalade has just bullied his way through the entire thing. So I'm gonna do hard.
I want to point out, I think Escalade, you have a move that
I use cool for like everything pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's change it to cool then.
And who knows Escalade better or worse? So we had Amelia spend quite a bit of time with Escalade last session, going through the Silver Tower. We did have Spaz spend a little time with Escalade in an interrogation session, and I don't think Sir and Escalade spent much time together.
I guess Amelia again.
Well, if nobody knows Escalade better, you could know Escalade worse.
He did crash. I would say I know him worse. I think of him as like less of a person.
Okay. All right, Escalade, you get -1 hex with Amelia.
That's fair. I grab a robot and then I get into the other vehicle and crash through buildings. That's all good.
All right.
He pressured me into putting a robot in the car that's useless. Like,
it's not useless.
It's dead.
But it can be fixed.
All right, and Escalade, do you have any beginning of session moves?
I do not.
All right. Next up, we have Spaz. I think similar to Escalade. You're in prison / about to be executed. So your lifestyle is taken care of.
Yay!
Yay! As far as stats, I'll also highlight sharp. And then who is your highest hex?
So far, I've still got a +3 with Escalade. Oh no, that does that go back to 0 when it's it's +4.
+4. +4 goes to +1.
Okay. So
Escalade.
It'd be Escalade.
Highlight a
I'll
stat.
do weird.
Excellent. All right. Who knows Spaz better or worse?
I think I spent last time taking care of him, so Sir probably knows him better.
maybe better and not the best way.
Yeah. Like, I know where the diapers are.
All right. Spaz, gain +1. Oh god. With Sir.
Okay. Something weird going on.
Something weird?
Yeah. Cancel? Maybe? Cancel? That was creepy.
I agree. That was really creepy.
Yeah, Adobe
So
decided
creepy.
it wanted to set up everything or some crap like that. I'm like, no, I just want to put a +1 where Sir's at. So, okay. So yeah, so I added +1 to with Sir's name. So now I've got +2.
And give me your beginning of session moves. The important one anyway.
No. Let's kiss the D6s.
All right, give us the results.
Dum.
What did you roll? Snake eyes?
I rolled a 1.
Uh-huh.
And I rolled a 3.
Okay.
Which is a 4.
Plus
3. So
which is a 7.
Which is partial though, compared to a 6. Last time.
Yeah, that's a partial success. Let me pull up Bone Feel.
Barely.
All right. On a 7 to 9, hold 1. Anytime either you or the MC can spin your hold to have you already be there with the proper tools and knowledge. All right. So you get the hold 1, but you do not get the +1 forward.
Yeah. But I can use
that's good.
that. I can
you
use
anyway.
that power, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's right. Because if it was a 6, then it would be like, no. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. I'm cool with that.
All right. And that's your only...
Well, let's see here. Okay, that goes with that. Realities. So some components use, and okay, that one happens in game, and that one, that one also happens in game. Okay, so yeah, I think I'm done.
Okay. And up next is Amelia. What are you paying for lifestyle?
1 barter.
Okay.
That leaves me with 1 until I see what I have from my fortunes.
Okay.
Ugh, metal dice or blue dice? I've been using metal dice this whole game. We'll go with the blues. Eight.
All right. So 8 on your fortunes.
And I don't add anything to that, correct?
I think. Sorry, I'm trying to find the focus or the hocus.
You're good. I'm reading.
I was
don't
focus and not hocus. That's why I couldn't find it.
Focus.
But I think you took 1 that gives you +1 fortune. Yeah, your followers are involved in successful commerce. But that still is a partial success.
Yeah.
7 to 9, you have surplus, but they also have a want. So basically, your followers, if I remember correctly,
they desperation. They rely entirely on me, and I'm not there right now.
That makes perfect narrative sense. So yeah, they have the want plus desperation, but their surplus, I think, is growth and the drug one.
So their surplus is barter and stupor.
Right. So let me look up desperation real quick. I'd pulled up the basic ref sheet and not the full book.
Fine. I only ever have the character sheet open, so when I actually go to do a move, I go fuck.
Desperation. When your people are in want, they'll do anything to secure their future, including turning on their own. So, yeah.
But they have surplus.
That's true. So it's not like all bad, but they're still desperate. All right.
Josh is like, Amelia, where are you?
Yeah, Josh is really stressing out right now.
And then bone feel.
And then,
of course, I have to use the bone dice. That's a 3.
A 3. All right. So I get a
bone
hold.
Dice betrayed me.
I get a hold, and I get to yank you into a scene whenever I want, which I will certainly not use for nefarious purposes.
I'm immediately going to be hanged with Spat. I already know where I'm going. There's no surprises there.
I already had the idea of like what was going to happen if Spaz made his bone feel roll.
We're swapping places. It's fine.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So, highlighting stats. For Amelia, I am going to highlight. You got some guns. I'm going to highlight hard.
And my highest hex is Sir.
I'll highlight cool. In case you might need that, I don't know.
What'd you highlight?
Cool. Because I feel like you might need that one.
Cool. Yeah.
And finally, who knows Amelia better or worse?
I would say Escalade better because, that little trip we had.
Yeah, that's a little murder by lack of life support.
I was doing her a favor because I didn't want her to pull it and, feel like a horrible person, even though she suggested it.
I'm fine with that. But Sir got, trauma dumped on the roof, so I don't know.
Oh, it could be too, that's fine.
Up to y'all?
Yeah, that is true. I forgot that happened because I was like, wait, we were supposed to bone and we didn't. That's all I was thinking about.
We picked up with Escalade crashing into a roof, and so she's been with Sir for a majority of, a little bit.
Yeah, that is true.
So that's up to y'all. I just wanted to bring up that point.
Oh, that's fine. Put Sarah in there.
Yeah, I would agree.
All right, so we got Amelia is finished. Yeah, because you already did your beginning of session moves, and then finally we're on to Sir. You don't spend lifestyle because your club is open. And for highlighting stats, where I have them here somewhere. Oh, here they are. I am gonna highlight. I'll highlight sharp. And then who is your highest hex?
Amelia.
Okay, you are not at risk of getting hanged like the rest of us. So I'm gonna give you hot.
Yeah.
All right. And who knows Sir better or worse?
I think Spaz does.
You've seen a caretaking side of Sir? Maybe?
Yeah, instead of get the fuck out of my bar. Yeah,
all right.
Sure. Even in his drug-induced messed up state. So.
All right. So yeah, Sir gains +1 hex with Spaz. And finally, do you have any beginning of session moves?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. So that is everything for our beginning of session bookkeeping. And so I think we're going to open up kind of onto two scenes simultaneously. I think on the one hand, we see Amelia has walked into Spaz's place after she's noticed his front door is ajar, and she finds his place ransacked a bit. It looks like there was maybe a struggle, and Spaz is not there. And then on the other side, we see Spaz on a makeshift kind of stage with a noose around his neck. And we briefly see Sir in the audience of the citizens of the blocks who are about to watch this hanging. So, Spaz.
Yeah.
Are you going to take the opportunity to bone feel your way out of your predicament?
I mean, I think right now Spaz is not thinking about the hanging because he might have had that happen before in his past life, and
you're used to it by now.
Yeah, this is not his first go around.
Uh-huh.
Probably looked at the dude next to him and said it's first time.
Well, and I think it's funny because nobody else sees a dude next to you, but Spaz does.
Yeah, for sure. Spaz is actually thinking about Sir, and thinking about it's not finished yet. I've got to save Sir. I didn't hook Sir up to the machine yet.
And I think when you have this thought, you kind of like, you're looking at the guy next to you that only you can see, and you kind of look out into the crowd and you see like kind of way in the back, you see Sir like looking up at you.
And I think that he would envision himself back at the lab, his shop, with Sir as part of the unfinished business that he had, as far as almost like a tool even.
Are you using your bone field here, or are you?
I am using my bone field, yes.
Okay.
But we had discussed something very interesting after game last time. And it was about having sex. And technically, Sir, the way her thing read, would be Spaz's, having sex with Spaz by taking care of him and stuff like that. But here's the funny thing about Savvyhead. Yeah, but here's the funny thing about Savvyhead is if you and another character have sex, they automatically speak to you as though they were a thing, and you roll a 10 plus. So I think Spaz considers Sir not as a human being, not as like actual person, but as a thing. Yeah, as part of his equipment. So Bone Feel says, I appear in places with all my tools.
Okay, one, I love this interpretation. Two, for the watcher's benefit. So most playbooks in this game, their special move is they have sex with another PC, or some sort of like intimacy. The Maestro is one of the few playbooks who doesn't, and theirs is basically if you hook another character up with sex, with food, with something, whatever, it counts as having sex with them. So in this case, Sir having taken care of Spaz triggers the Maestro D special. And then just as Spaz was mentioning, the Savvy Head special is when you have sex with another character, you open up, or they speak to you automatically as if the Savvy Head had rolled a +10 on things speak. So I think we should do that first.
Okay.
Maybe just kind of consider this as having happened retroactively before you were captured.
Yeah.
So what 3 things speak questions are you asking?
First one I think would be what has been done most recently with this or to this. The second one would be what strong emotions have been most recently nearby this. And then the most of all is what's wrong with this and how might I fix it.
All right, and so these are all for Sir to answer.
Oh shit! One at a time.
And it's specifically to the concept of that Sir is still broken. Is what Spaz is envisioning these questions are, not just, because he doesn't conceive reality. So
and I don't, and normally it would be like, I don't know, I could see like the other PC being kind of offended, like, why do you think I'm broken? But it's like, obviously Sir is not healthy right now.
So, should I go over them again?
Yeah, ask him one at a time. Yeah.
One at a time. Okay, sorry.
My pea brain can't remember everything.
Okay. What has been done most recently with this or to this?
It's recently to this? Like to make him ill or just in general? Because if it was the ill one, would it have been the drugs?
No, most recently. Like what has happened to you most recently? And it's kind of your interpretation.
Got cock-blocked by Escalade crashing. Probably.
No. So these questions would have happened before that. It would have happened when you helped out Spaz.
Oh. Happened recently to this. They're probably has been sober since this whole thing with Spaz hasn't touched anything. So I don't know, he's probably just dressed and pulling out his hair a little. I guess that's the most recent thing that happened to him.
Stressed at what's happening with you and Spaz or other things?
Well, yeah, because Spaz, was knocked out for a while.
Yeah.
And that was very concerning. He's also stressed because he's like, oh, well, I have to get electric.
Uh-huh. Okay. Spaz, what is your second question?
My second question is, what strong emotions have been most recently nearby this?
Stress and concern. concerned for Spaz and stressed about their situation.
So I think normally, like, this wouldn't be your emotions. These would be the other emotions that were nearby you. So they would include Spaz's emotions. I'm trying to think of the professors. I think of the professor as like he's kind of a low emotional kind of guy. I mean, he has a little bit of like, I mean, he's concerned for Spaz. Like, he obviously knows like Spaz is not doing too well. So you do catch some of that. Not sure if I can think of anybody else recently other than Spaz that's been around Sir. I mean, maybe people in the bar. Actually, maybe that's a good point. So, because I know Sir has been at the bar. I think there is like an undercurrent of like fear running through a lot of the patrons, as like you get the sense that like everybody went through a fairly traumatic event during the attack on the blocks, because a lot of people were captured and a lot of people died. So it's almost like a bit of paranoia going about. And I mean, you can see this with the like kind of militarization and the citizens militia and the like, you know, the enhanced security going in and out. So I think that's another thing that you pick up, Spaz.
Okay. Third question.
Mm-hmm.
What strong let's see here. Oh, no. Did that one. I'll say. So the next one is, what's wrong with this and how might I fix it?
I mean, I think you know the answer to that question already.
Absolutely.
Like I think you see the little like the nanites coursing through Sir and is like rewriting his brain, essentially.
Yeah.
And he's becoming more and more receptive to the world psychic maelstrom.
Which is bad. Diagnosis is this.
In this case, it's bad. Yes.
Yeah. So, and with that knowledge, immediately, Spaz needs to fix Sir. So, with that.
So yeah, now we jump back into the present moment, and so Spaz.
Yeah.
You feel the like the wooden planks you're standing on like give way underneath you, and you're falling, kind of expecting for the noose to like, you know, snap on your neck. Mm-hmm. And for some reason you hit the ground beneath you. No idea why. And you just instinctually, not even think about it, you just start running. And all you hear is you hear like this like gasps going throughout the crowd. You hear actually King, who's on the stage, who pulled the lever, was like, he just kind of shouts like, "What the fuck? What happened?" And Sir, like when Spaz was about to drop, is like you just kind of averted your eyes, and you feel someone grab your arm, and like it's just kind of a blur. It's like you're flying down the streets of the blocks, and like it's almost like time flashes, in front of your eyes, and the two of you are suddenly on top of the roof of Spaz's workshop again. However, when this happens, a pair of guards brings Amelia up on stage where King is.
I would like to say I was in disguise. Not that it matters.
Unfortunately, here it does not matter.
I know.
They caught you in Spaz's place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But they've only recently caught me. They haven't like fully disarmed me.
Yeah, they recently just caught you, but you're bound. Like your hands are bound behind your back.
Got it.
And so yeah, King turns to you, and it was like quieting the crowd, and he turns to you and he's like, I may have lost one for a moment, but looks like I caught another.
And what is it that you've caught?
And when you say that, like you hear like people in the crowd are like basically calling for blood, calling for your death. And it's like what I caught one of the attackers in our city here. I caught a murderer.
Double checking. And I am going to frenzy this mob.
Do it.
And I'm going to speak the truth to them before I roll.
All right, let's hear your speech.
We're all murderers in this land. We protect our friends, our family, our barter to keep ourselves and the ones we care about going. Now, I did come into the city with the others, but that was far after a majority of the massacre. The only people whom I personally attacked were Toby's men, who put a false bounty on my head, and Roland, who was from the tower, who shot down at me with some technological weapons. I would never attack civilians. You all know that I have civilians back at the aviary whom I take care of, who I offered you the same place as them. I would never hurt civilians, because I know what it's like to be one. When I came into the blocks, my own people had already been murdered in the previous attack that I did not know about. I lost my best friend. And I'm gonna roll.
So before you roll,
yes.
I do think there are some truths there, and I also think there's like, I think the end is a good emotional appeal. Saying we're all murderers does not ring true.
It rings true for some of us.
That's true. Truer for some, yeah, some than others. I don't think that rings true. The part about like you didn't come in to attack civilians, you just came to attack like Toby and Roland, or specifically Toby, but yeah, you attacked Roland after he attacked you. Rings true. But that still makes you a murderer.
Well, she admitted, she was like, I might be a murderer, but I never would harm civilians. I was only after Toby and anybody who, such as Roland, attacked me.
Yeah. No, I guess like what I'm trying to establish is like what is the truth that they accept? That determines like what makes sense for the frenzy to be.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I kind of think the problem though is like, yes, they agree. Okay, they're like, okay, fine, you came in just for Toby. But it's like you still came in and killed the mayor of the city, which doesn't necessarily reflect well on you. Yeah.
I think Amelia's like whole shtick is like she's not proclaiming to be innocent in this.
Yeah.
And by like saying we're all murderers, I think what she meant was there's not a single one of us in the city that is innocent. We've all done something. I should have worded it that way. But this was not a pretty plain speech.
Yeah. For sure. I think we should go ahead and roll it and we can figure out.
I put the bad dice in jail. I put the bone dice away. So let's see. What we get? I'm gonna roll the bloody dice. All right. And that's a 10.
All right. So on a 10, you hold 3.
Cool. And so and then I picked my 3.
Mm-hmm.
I want
So
to go ahead.
I will say they probably will not unite and fight for you as a gang.
That's fine.
I don't think they're going to bring you precious things.
I don't want those.
And I don't bring people forward and deliver them. I don't know what that would mean, but we could maybe come up with something.
So what I was thinking is they fall into an orgy of fighting amongst each other. I think there's like split people in that crowd. And I think part of that crowd will go quietly back to their lives. A portion of them, while the other ones start fighting.
Perfect. Yes, I think that makes a lot of sense. I think like there are some people, who feel very strongly that it doesn't matter that you didn't kill civilians. Like you still attack the blocks, you still like came here to kill Toby, and like sort of like it's conspiracy. Like even if you didn't commit the bad act or even intend to commit the bad act, you were still in the conspiracy. Into the larger conspiracy. And I think others are like they feel like you deserve the opportunity to like atone. And
like a trial or something.
Like just putting you on stage and hanging you because they couldn't hang the other person is like that doesn't feel right. So I think those two sides are like fighting each other, and I think a bunch of the others are just kind of like
not wanting to be a part of it, trying to slink out. And that leaves me with 1.
Yes.
Dude, what can I do with that?
What do you want to do with that?
I would say, and you can tweak this, but to bring people forward and deliver them, all the people who had the missed opportunity to come to the aviary for sanctuary. Maybe? Anybody who wanted to get out but didn't get the chance to? All kind of like come forward? Or if there's any section of the crowd that you think could unite for me, I doubt it, but that'd be awesome.
I don't think anybody wants to unite and fight for you. But maybe the like bring people forward and deliver them. Like I think most of your people in the aviary who wanted to get out did get out.
Yeah.
It was basically Lily and a handful of rats that you had left behind. Or not left behind, but you'd like left in the city. But if we're gonna go with this like, should have the opportunity to atone for themselves. It's like bring people forward and deliver them, like could be like just as you deserve the opportunity to atone for yourself, then like anybody else, everybody else deserves that too.
Yeah.
And it could be like, well, what about say Escalade? I mean, he's technically having an opportunity to atone, but he's in prison. But it could be like, it should be more of a public affair.
Yeah.
Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds fine.
So yeah, I think the fighting goes on for a while, and like you see like members of like the citizens militia who are kind of active are kind of like breaking the two sides fighting up. And after that dies down for a while, you see Escalade being brought forward onto the stage with you. King is like, all right, seems like y'all deserve some atonement, so say your piece.
I'm just kind of going to turn to Escalade and see what he has to say.
Well, first he would look at her and give her like a look and just say sorry. And I guess he would walk up front and he would just say, I know that it doesn't really matter. A lot of people died. I didn't mean anything to happen like this. It was dropped upon us. And even though I was going after Toby, it doesn't excuse the lives that were lost. And I believe that all the blame's on me, so anybody else shouldn't have to deal with it. I should be the one punished for this.
I would like to look up at the tower.
Mm-hmm.
And see, because knowing we took some of the batteries, try and, I guess, open my mind to the maelstrom and try and figure out when this bitch is gonna drop.
Okay. Go for it.
Sure, and I just roll.
Mm-hmm.
I'll save that for later. That's a 12.
All right. So, yeah, you kind of look up and you close your eyes and you see it, you're kind of like mentally you're back in the engineering section of the tower where the big wall of batteries were, and you see that like single battery left, and it's like the last bar is blinking.
And I'm going to open my eyes and face the crowd and turn to King and kind of clear my throat a little bit. I don't think we quite have time for stories, but I'll share mine. And I kind of lean forward, shaking my head as like the brown wig just kind of falls off. And I sit up, my white streak just kind of like flowing back. We all know that I'm a little odd. And I want you to bear with me as I say this. I was never from the blocks. I came from the tower, and I was raised up there until I ran away after being trapped for years. And I came down here to try and make things better. Not that that matters now. And I glance up at the tower because it's about to come crashing down on all of us very soon. So rather you hang me here or let me get crushed by falling debris like Roland, I'd recommend the rest of you run. Or else we're all going to die.
You know what? Are you trying to provoke a panic?
Absolutely. And I'm just kind of like looking back up, praying something falls from the fucking tower.
You're definitely gonna have to roll something for that.
Oh, like, what would that roll be? Like a prayer?
It could be frenzy again. Because that's essentially you're trying to panic the crowd.
Yeah.
Fall into an orgy of uninhibited emotion. Like, panic is a pretty powerful, uninhibited emotion.
And that's pure truth, isn't it?
And that's pure truth.
Fuck. Yeah, you know what? I'll frenzy them again. Don't leave Amelia with a crowd. We're learning this, people. That's a 9, and I'll take that +1 to make it a 10.
All right.
And I want...
I mean, really, well, okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, like, you are panicking them.
Yeah, no, I'm panicking them. Can I just put all 3 into major panic and cause chaos?
Sure.
I want panicking. I want pandemonium. Pandemonium. That might be the wrong word. I want chaos.
Well, this is all gone down. Escalade is gonna, if possible, look at King in a way that he's like pretty much tell him that if he gets close to her, this would be a problem, and I would use my ice cold on him.
And kind of like, as people begin panicking, and if you don't believe me, if you go on top of the buildings where there is a parked aircraft, you'll find one of their robots with a fully depleted battery. Just as an FYI, they're running out of juice.
All right. Actually, I think the one thing that sells this too is like when you're done talking and people's eyes are kind of going wide, and it's like that sense of panic is like starting to set in. A body falls from the sky and hits the ground between the stage and the crowd. Clearly a silvered one.
Do I recognize this? Don't be the old lady! No! Do I recognize this person?
You look down and it's the old lady, and you see like around her lips, it's like her mouth is like super dry because she has not had anything to drink for days.
I'm just gonna say like a prayer.
And like with that, the crowd just erupts. Like they're trampling each other. They're like, trying to get out.
Can I like break out of my ropes? Because they caught me very last minute. I don't know how secure those were.
You're manacled similar to Escalade.
That's understandable.
And Escalade, you wanted to ice cold King.
Yeah.
King hasn't fled yet, but his eyes are pretty wide.
Yeah. Do you want me to roll for it or no?
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to stare into his soul, let him know that, if he tries anything, even though I'm manacled, I'm still going after his ass.
You go for it.
Okay, that's 11 plus 2, so 13.
Yeah, he drops the rifle he was holding and books it.
Amelia is still fully manacled, like are they behind her or in front of her?
Your hands are behind you.
Just kind of hands behind me, begins to hum and walks off the stage. And yeah, she's just scuttling out.
Escalade, you're not. You're manacled, like both feet and hands, but yours are all in the front, and you have the wider, like you can hold your arms out like that.
Can I walk or no?
You can walk, but you can't run.
Good. I mean, I'll try to follow her.
I'm not running. I'm like kind of like looking for one of those fire escapes that slide down in order to slide my manacles behind them and try and like get them off. Because I'm assuming we don't have like freshly made manacles. They're probably older. At least that's my assumption.
Maybe. I think it's possible, like too, like there are a pair of keys like somebody dropped.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because panic has set in, and like I think it makes sense for that to happen.
I'm like looking at them. I kind of like kick off my shoe and pick it up with my feet.
Escalade, because he's in manacles, but they're not like tight. He's more like, I can walk around a prison in manacles kind of thing.
Yeah. I just kind of like hop back over to him because I'm moving much faster.
Yeah.
I'm like key between my toes, hopping over. Here, take it. I got the key.
Yeah, give me a second. He'll get you off, and then, so much better. You probably would be like this, like the whole time, like my fucking hair.
What did you do to your hair?
They kind of figured that I was growing up for a reason, so.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's get the fuck out of here.
He's gonna go and grab the rifle real quick and follow her.
Oh, King's rifle?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, at this point, she's walking, like, pistol in hand, and, grenade in the other, but not pulling it, like just holding on to it, death gripping it.
They would have taken any weapons off of you. So you probably don't have them with you.
Can I like look around, see if they like had hid it somewhere? Because I'm assuming dragged me straight here.
Yeah, they probably did drag you straight here.
Can I do a little looky-loo as everybody's freaking the fuck out?
Yeah, I'm trying to decide if reading a sitch makes sense. Or like,
reading a sitch maybe under fire because there's so much panic.
Yeah, I was gonna say acting under fire to see like, yeah.
Yeah,
you're searching for it, the fire being like, you get caught in the panic crowd or something.
Yeah. And that's another 10.
All right.
Ooh, and that's an improvement. We'll work on that later.
Nice. Yeah, you find one of you find the rifle. Probably be the easiest thing to find.
Okay. Is that the rifle from the tower or?
The tower, yeah.
And that one, did it have batteries in it, or was that like ammo operated?
I think I said they were battery operated.
Oh, there's like a little bit of juice in it.
I'm trying to remember. Like, I think you had what, 3 batteries? You used 2 of them on the craft.
And I kept
2
one.
crafts, and you kept 1.
Yeah.
So we could say like that 3rd battery is in the rifle.
All right, cool. Great. And I would say I head with Escalade, if he's coming with me, to Spaz's shop, where I was taken from.
All right, so it's going to be very difficult getting there, because there is a panicked mob between you and there.
So under fire again?
Yeah, makes sense.
That is a 9.
All right. On a partial success, you flinch, hesitate, or stall. So I think what happens is like you can get there, but you're going to lose track of Escalade.
Oh no! Okay. Bye, buddy.
Yeah, so I think like y'all are trying to pick your way through this like panic crowd. And Amelia's pushing forward, and Escalade, you just can't keep up. And you kind of get pushed down an alley. So Amelia, I think you make your way to Spaz's, and we're gonna jump over to the roof where Sir and Spaz are still there. What are y'all doing?
What just happened? How did we get here? I mean, I'm glad you're safe, but what the fuck? Oh, okay, sure.
And about this point, you hear like tons of people screaming out in the blocks.
Oh gosh.
Yep. I mean, you could probably just walk over to the edge, because you do have a street, or like your building or your workshop is by the street because you have your garage, and you see people like screaming and running through the streets. They seem to be kind of like emanating away from Toby's direction. Mm-hmm. I have to climb on the outside. Not sure I know what you mean.
Like he needs to get back inside. I think.
Oh, I got it. Yeah. You can get off the roof into your workshop. And I think, and maybe it's Sir who looks over the edge and sees the panicked
Yeah,
mob.
Sir is like, what the actual fuck is going on?
But you hear Toby is just kind of like, haha, they finally learned the truth. They know the comet comes. And Giggles is just like, haha, doom comes for us all.
Yep, I wish it would come for you a second time, but here we still are. Here we still are.
Soon you'll be with us forever.
They're just gonna stab them for fun, even though he knows it's not gonna do anything. He's just gonna take the dagger and just let out some aggression.
Yeah, Spaz, as you're climbing down the hatch to your roof, you just see Sir like stabbing with his like wicked dagger at the air.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I'm coming. He's gonna like give Toby and Giggles a dirty look, and he's gonna look out at the side again and be like, "Well, I hope Amelia and Escalade are doing all right." And he's just gonna climb down, I guess. I'm not so sure about that one, but okay. I still think we should be worried about our friends, but
I mean,
there seems to be something going on.
To be fair, the people Sir sees actually exist. At this point, anyway.
Yep. Okay. Sure. Do I need to like strip or something? I don't. Okay, so I was just gonna take off all his piercings and just completely strip.
Okay. Sir is 100% plugged in.
Beth, are you sure you know how to do this? I don't know if these are quite tight enough. You know, I can take it a little tighter. I'd probably prefer it a little tighter. Yeah, this will suffice. Okay.
So you do realize you don't have a power source for this, right? Wait, which batteries? Oh, like car battery kind of thing? Got it. Okay. All right. Uh-huh. Yep. Mm-hmm. All right. So yeah, you hit the first lever. So this is 3 levers, right? I totally don't remember what they do. Okay. What does the second one do? All right. So yeah, Sir, you hear the kind of whirring of the machine starting up, and then you feel like a surge of electricity jolting through your body, and you're just like involuntarily like jerking, kind of like you're having a seizure. And then I assume Spaz, you hit the third one. And then suddenly you feel the most intense pain you've ever had in your life before you black out.
Lovely.
And Spaz, at this point, like as you hit the third lever, you hear a knock at your door. What are you doing, Amelia?
Baz, I know it's not a cockroach. Let me inside. Yeah, of course. Who else? Yeah, no. The same here. Last time I opened this door, I was getting hanged, you know. We should bolt this door.
Yeah, and basically, Amelia, you kind of have to push your way in as like panic people are like streaming past you, and like a few try to follow in with you.
I just slide in, immediately shut the door behind me.
Yep, and you hear like couple people like thud off the door before you hear them like running away.
So, what's today? Is it? What day of the week is it? Oh. Fair enough. How's your time of the day going? So, what did you do to Sir? I'm gonna go over and start checking on Sir. I'm not gonna touch Sir, I'm just gonna look at him.
So I think, yeah, you probably walk over and like as you're about to touch Sir, you feel like a static electricity kind of thing jolt your hand. And you notice what looked like to be maybe some like almost like burn marks around where Spaz has hooked Sir up to the machine.
Got it.
Actually, Spaz, are you just in your underwear at this point? Yeah, you see very similar like burn marks on Spaz.
Got it. Can I tell like how harmed Sir is?
Just like last time with Spaz, Sir, you would have taken 1 harm as part of that process. And speaking of harm, Spaz, you're at 10 harm. Is that correct? Oh, right. You healed to 9. Is that right? Okay, so you're stable. But yeah, Spaz obviously looks not well.
I remember how I mentioned how I got another experience thing?
Uh-huh.
I'm going to take Healing Touch.
From Angel. Right?
Angel, yeah. I think how Amelia keeps like opening up her brain to like the maelstrom. She's pulling in bits of information off of like old books that she read while she stayed in the tower.
Okay. Sir, how much damage are you at?
I think I have 3 harm total.
Okay.
3
so
or 4.
You are very injured, but in stable condition.
And Spaz is at what total amount of harm?
9. They're both at 9.
Great. I'm trying to figure out which one needs to be healed more.
They look similarly messed up, but Sir is out cold.
Okay, I'd like to go ahead and do that roll and see if I'm even able to help them. If that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
10.
So, what does it look like when you heal Sir?
It says when I put my hands like skin to skin, so I would have to touch the slightly electrified Sir. I think I kind of just come over and place one hand on their torso, the other hand on their cheek, and just kind of close my eyes, worrying about them. And trying to sit there and go, please get better.
So this sounds kind of miraculous in a way.
Yeah.
Like it's definitely not... Like, Spaz, if you're like very much in tune with things and scientific stuff, I think that what happens too is like you or Amelia goes over and does this almost like, miracle healer display, and it looks like the burn wounds have like healed some on Sir, or maybe even like almost completely healed, like you can barely see they're there. And I think Spaz, like this sort of like connection you had with Sir as a thing, as a tool, seems to kind of sever. Like you don't feel that connection to him anymore. And Sir, you should be at 2 harm now. But you start to wake up. And like Spaz, you were out for days. But Sir, you have the worst headache you've ever had in your life. And you kind of have a double vision like thing going on where you can't quite focus on anything.
Just gonna like groan. He's like, he's just holding his head. He's not even trying to look at anything at this point. His eyes are still closed. He's like, fuck.
Hey, sunshine.
Amelia, is that you?
Yeah, we need to get out of the city.
I like try to open his eyes, but he can't quite see where she is. So he's just like trying to reach out to her face, but he's like, I don't.
I'm just gonna like grab your hand and like place it over my heart.
Hey, how you doing? What's going on outside?
Good.
How long has it been?
Shh, tower falling. I incited a panic. Let's go. Your place might get crushed from the tower soon.
No.
We'll build you another one.
Well, we gotta go tell them then to get out.
No, we don't have time.
We have a radio.
We do have a radio. We can use it on the way out. Spaz, do you have any extra cars of Escalade that he could drive? I'm kind of like looking around like, damn it, I lost. Like she didn't realize he wasn't here till just now.
Mm-hmm.
Vehicles for Escalade if he shows up. No, I told the city the sky is falling and they're freaking out. No. Yes. Maybe later. But look for the drugs later. We need a vehicle.
So...
Oh, okay. Bye.
So speaking of vehicle, Escalade's Escalade is not in the city, if I remember correctly. It's wherever the collector's old building was when you found the... Yeah. He got it like refixed. I think the Scarlet's mechanic fixed it back up so it could run.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So yeah, Spaz, so the only vehicle you have is your motorcycle, I think.
I got, yeah, I've got, okay. I don't know. Yeah, give me a second. And, yeah, I take the motorcycle and, hook a sidecar to it.
Cool. So you're thinking like 2 on the bike, 1 in the sidecar?
Yeah. And then, you know,
yeah.
I get my drugs. In the process.
I'm gonna like pick up Sir after unlatching them and set them in the sidecar and kind of like put like a wet towel over their head.
Sir is just like, oh, but wait, he's trying to like get out. He was like, I want my clothes, I need the radio.
I'll say, I'm gonna throw I'm assuming Spaz does not have blankets. I'm gonna throw like a oily tarp over you and go get
My
the
clothes are in a
radio.
nice little pile. Just give them
Yeah,
to me.
It's like a tarp with like some oily rags that are like stuck to it with some kind of adhesive.
I mean, there's probably like a chair next to the table where Sir is strapped in with his clothes like neatly folded or something.
They're neatly there. He's not dealing with this tarp. He's like, no. He's like, I'm getting my clothes on.
I bring you your clothes and the radio.
Thanks.
And I'm gonna try and radio. Then I go to reach for my radio and go, damn it, they took it.
I'm starting
Spaz
to
has
bike
a
up.
radio in the his workshop.
But Escalade wouldn't have a radio.
That is true.
Oh, but you know what? I will go to the shop's radio and Josh?
Amelia, is that you?
Close the fucking gates.
Yeah.
How you doing, bud?
I'm really stressed out. Things have it's been hard keeping things together while you've been gone.
Yep, I'm coming home. Okay, bye. Picks it back up. Go get my anxiety medication from my bedroom. Take some. Put the rest in your pocket for when I get there.
On it. Our way ahead of you.
He's already in my stash.
All right. So while y'all are packing up to GTFO, let's jump over to Escalade. So Escalade, you got kind of you lost track of Amelia. The crowd kind of pushed you down an alleyway to the side. What are you doing?
I think with all those people like near him and the fact that he was like manacled earlier, he's kind of freaking out. So he's just gonna raise the rifle and shoot it to get everybody to like.
Yeah, you got the keys earlier when you were able to like remove Amelia's manacles. You were able to remove.
No, I know that. I'm just saying the whole experience is kind of panicking with all those people around him. So if they're not moving, he's gonna shoot the gun in the air to get them to like scatter like roaches.
So I think the issue is that it's a pretty large crowd, and they're already panicked, and it's hard to move. Yeah, through the crowd. That makes sense.
Okay, I want to try to do something, but I was curious. The whole eye on the door where I could find an escape. What are the chances that I'm looking to see if I can find like an emergency vehicle to jump into? What are the chances that I can use this to find
I mean, there are definitely like vehicles around. I think the bigger issue is going to be being able to get through the crowd. Like that is by far your number one issue right now. Okay, well
I'll just use eye on the door to try to find a way to get out of this crowd and get to the shop.
So using eye on the door? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
All right, make your roll. Okay,
so that's a 9, so that's 10, 11.
All right, you are gone. So the way I'm interpreting this is a name your escape route. So I don't know if this necessarily gets you to Spaz's. I think this gets you out of the city. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it could be like it gets you out of the city on the west side.
Yeah, that's fine with me, because what I wanted to try to do is, as I'm trying to get somewhere, I want to try to find like a ambulance or some type of like, emergency vehicle that has a radio and maybe has something inside of it, whether it's like a first aid kit or something.
There aren't ambulances in the city. Typically, if you need like healing, you'd have to find a doctor.
Is there any
and the
shops that I
doctors
would
here
run by?
are varying various qualities, usually poor. What was your question?
Is there any shops on my way that I could find then? Like maybe like a general store or something?
Yeah, you're probably not gonna find like a general store that has like healing is gonna require more than just like.
Okay, that's fine.
Fast.
I'll try to make my way to them then, if possible.
Okay. So yeah, I think you're able to pick your way through the city, and I think you make good time because you're kind of sticking through the back alleys where like a lot of the crowd is really targeted up and down like this main market street that bisects the city. And you eventually find your way to this western checkpoint, and like it doesn't look manned anymore as people are like trying to pour through that main checkpoint, but because it's like been so fortified, they're like squeezing themselves like sardines through it. But you find
like a little posting where they would have like the button where you can open the gate or whatnot.
It doesn't look like there's a gate anymore. It looks like they specifically made it so like large vehicles can't get in.
Makes sense since I blew through it with a freaking tank.
But you do find that there's like the guard room, which is like pretty well fortified, but it's like there's like a door that's like been left ajar that you like go through and are able to like get outside of the city through this like fortified guard room.
Okay, well, fuck it, I'll take it.
And you're standing outside the city. Are you waiting around hoping to see the others, or are you gonna make your way to the aviary? What's your plan?
Well, I think after everything that he's been through with everybody, especially Amelia, I know she's fine. So I guess I'm just gonna walk my ass towards her place. Hopefully on the way there I can stop and get my Escalade that was left where she had her ship at.
So are you planning to go get your Escalade first before going to the aviary? It's not quite the same direction.
I'll just go straight to the aviary then.
All right, so you're going there on foot. As you see like people trickling out of the blocks. Let's jump back over to our three people and their bike. What is your plan for getting out of the city?
Spaz is already jumped on, revved up, ready to go. You realize Spaz is wearing just a helmet with multicolored spikes and a diaper.
Is it like the little multicolored like mohawk?
Yep.
Amelia is directly behind him, like arms around his waist.
And I just realized that Sir is not back yet. So
taking a nap in like the side piece.
Sure. So how are you going to make your way through the panicked mob to get out of the city?
So I think Spaz is just gonna wing it, like
And
he
what does
always
that mean?
does. Just drive like a bat out of hell. Trying to. I think he's also gonna use his. I'd almost say he's going to use his reality's fraying edge.
So that's when you're using your workshop, correct?
Yes, and I'm in my workshop because I think I'm, you know.
Oh, got it. I think I see where you're going with this.
Yeah.
So some component of your workspace or some arrangement of components is uniquely receptive to the world's psychic maelstrom plus augury. And oops, you look up augury. When you're able to use something for augury, roll plus weird. On a hit, you can, choose one and then the rest.
Okay. Rolled 11.
All right. On a hit, you can choose one. What are you choosing?
I don't have the choices up.
Oh.
Sorry.
Let me copy them.
Okay. Wait and protect the personal things from the world.
The first one's an option too. It just didn't copy the bullet point.
Oh, okay. Read through the world's psychic maelstrom to do something or someone connected to it. Isolate and contain a fragment of the world's psychic maelstrom itself. Insert information into the world's psychic maelstrom. Open a window into the world's psychic maelstrom. Can I get one option?
You get one option.
I think due to the nature of the insanity, isolate and contain a fragment. Insert information. I think Spaz is going to open the window.
All right. What does it look like when you open this window?
I think Spaz is on the motorcycle with his mohawk striped, helmet. He's got his, combat boots on. He's got his, fashionable diaper on. Amelia's got her arms around him. Sir is resting in the thing, and he just jumps on, starts up, and goes, "Ready to go? Here we go! Vroom, 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 vroom!" And it's and he actually makes a noise too, and he takes off, and it's almost like he's going to ram through the actual door itself, and then it just kind of fades away, and he's in this open plains area. As he just kind of, it's like almost natural like.
So yeah, I think you kind of shatter through the garage door, except instead of pouring out into the central market street of the blocks, you, for at least for Spaz and Sir, you're back in this like weird Technicolor landscape where you still see the like skyscrapers to the north and like the Black Sea to the east, and you're flying across these plains.
And when we were here last time, Spaz, I don't know how to purpose. Perceived, I guess, or basically not scouted, but observed the landscape the whole time as, people were talking to him and stuff. He ignored that part and was just like So he's trying to put two and two together and figure out where to come out at, essentially.
So you're essentially trying to almost like map the psychic maelstrom as if it were laid over the real world and where you need to drive. Where specifically are you driving to?
Where are we going?
To the aviary.
Right. So I kind of do that.
All right. So you start heading to the west. And as you're driving, like at this point, Spaz, you look over and you see Toby/Giggles. It's almost like a motorcycle. It's like the two front ends of a motorcycle stuck to each other, with like Toby's face facing forward and Giggles' face facing backwards. And Toby's like, "Oh, Spaz, it's so good to see you again. I thought we'd lost connection forever. And I see you've brought a friend. Friends, I like friends."
And now are the
and of
people.
course, all three of you hear this, by the way. You all see Toby/Giggles.
I hear this?
In this weird Technicolor
Shit.
hyperreal landscape.
I fucking look over just in pure shock of the fuck?
No, ignore it.
No.
Sir just flips them off. He's so done. He's like, I thought I was finally get rid of you, and here we are again.
I'm gonna like reach into like the little sidecar that Sir is in, grab a greasy rag, and
I thought I threw all those out. God damn
I
it.
kept a stockpile.
We're only gonna be here for a short amount of time. We just gotta deal with idiot 1 and idiot 2 for a little bit longer.
Just ignore them. They love the attention.
And I keep driving.
So also for Augury, there's this second section.
Yeah.
I'll pull up to.
Okay.
Since you were able to reach or to drive into the psychic maelstrom, I think one of these is probably it reaches deep into the world's psychic maelstrom. But I'll go ahead and post them. And
need roll. Okay. It will persist for a while without you actively maintaining it. Okay. It reaches deep into the world's psychic maelstrom. It reaches broadly throughout the world's psychic maelstrom. It's stable and contained. No bleeding. I'll
put it this way. I think for you to be able to drive in and then pop back out outside of the city, it'll need to reach deep and broadly.
Okay. And do I need to make a roll for that?
Nope. No, you get those for having rolled a 10 plus.
Okay, cool. Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, as you keep driving west, Giggles, who's looking kind of backwards, quote unquote, on their bike, just says, "Oh, an opening!" And Toby's like, "Oh, well, I guess I'll see y'all later." And Toby turns the bike around and they drive back from where you came.
That might have been bad.
I'm gonna like kind of my eyes are gonna follow them as I'm like clinging to Spaz, and then I'm gonna look back up and see if I see the tower in this maelstrom at all, because we saw like things in the distance, right?
You look up and you see it's almost like a black hole in the sky with like dark gray flames coming off this like circle that almost looks like a comet if it was shot and negative. That's like slowly falling sky.
Dumb question.
Okay.
If I shot it with my laser rifle, would I hit it?
You can always try.
We're in a really weird, trippy place. I'm gonna try and shoot it.
So are you shooting at the comet, or are you shooting at Toby?
Oh, the comet. The
Okay.
comet.
Okay. Roll. I think you're suckering the comet.
I'm going aggro, suckering somebody.
Yeah.
Love it. I had a plus from earlier, right?
I think so.
I'm gonna use that now to make that a 10 instead of a 9.
So yeah, you shoot up at the sky, and I mean, it's sort of similar to how like light is bent by a black hole. You see, it's like almost like you see your laser like spiral into it,
Cool.
like it's kind of bent. Yeah.
Cool. I think Amelia just kind of watches it and like then checks the battery. Please.
You got a little bit of juice left.
Couple shots, and then I'm just gonna get back to focusing on the road.
Right.
So did we see that? Oh, shoot. Like the actual
Yeah,
team?
yeah. Well, who's in the sidecar? I guess I should ask that. That's Sir is in the
Sir.
sidecar.
Yeah, I'm driving.
Yep.
Yeah. So Spaz, you probably don't see it, but Sir, you see Amelia shoot the rifle up in the air towards the black comet.
Is it like breaking it or anything, or is it just like?
No, you just see the like laser, the light from the laser kind of like spiral around black hole and then enters it.
That's something.
I think Spaz would have a thought though. You're shooting something. Shoot at stupid ass and dumbass.
I don't know if they're real or not. Like, what if I shoot them and they're actually like a person on the other side that's not the... No.
I don't know, I've stabbed them many times and nothing seems to happen. So you're
Well, then it's a waste of my resources.
Unlike shooting the black comet, that's a worthwhile use of resources.
Absolutely.
I mean, it does help you feel just a little bit better.
Yeah.
So about this point, when you're having this conversation, suddenly the world psychic maelstrom just like bleeds away, and you go flying past Escalade. And Escalade, yeah, you see Spaz wearing nothing but underwear, combat boots, and a very colorful spiked helmet.
You're right.
With-
a diaper, not underwear.
I'm sorry, a diaper combat boots.
Is it
And a
soggy
very
diaper?
colorful spiked.
Well,
Oh God, I do not need to know this.
I need to know this. Is it a soggy diaper?
Does it stink?
Amelia would know. She's right behind him.
it's probably a fresh one because he went back to his lab. So,
Okay. It's a fresh
but
diaper.
Thank
But-
God.
but when he came out, the spiked helmet is now looks like a pink and white unicorn helmet.
So Escalade, you see Spaz in a fresh diaper, combat boots, a pink and white spiked helmet, with Amelia holding on to him, and Sir in a sidecar as they go barreling past you. Who just seemed to, you didn't hear them coming behind you. All you did was just like notice them fly past you.
Yeah, he would definitely do like a double take and just like, what?
So he's doing the same thing, just looking right back at him, and he's like, huh? But Sir looks
Wait.
disheveled as fuck. His shirt's not even like fully buttoned. He's just like, fetal position, like.
Just kind of, I'm gonna look at Escalade. Oh, I'll see you there. We don't have room.
and Spaz has got those goggles on, but they're like they're like lime purple. So and he's like
They're just
looking
like turns
directly
around
ahead.
to stare at him and like wave as they keep going.
You know what? As we go past Escalade, can I toss him the laser rifle?
Sure.
I don't think it's gonna catch that.
We don't know. He didn't catch it last time, but do I need to roll anything to throw it, or does Escalade just need a?
I mean, I say if like you don't have to roll it, but there's no guarantee he'll catch it. Like it won't break or anything. Like he can get it and pick it up, but it may not look cool, is what I'm saying.
Oh, if I have to roll to make it look cool, absolutely. Tell me what I need.
I think it's acting under fire.
Oh, absolutely. I love extra experience for flavor. That's a 4.
Yeah, I mean, you toss it in the air at him, and it like lands like 500 feet in front of him.
Can it like hit him in the face instead?
Escalade, do you want to roll cool for experience to not get hit in the face? You're muted.
God dang it. I rolled a 9 and I got a +2 on cool.
All right, so yeah, Amelia tosses it almost seemingly intentionally, if she's aiming for your head, and I think Escalade just does one of those like almost Terminator-esque, like grab the rifle in one like swift move.
Probably the only right thing that he's done for a while.
You know what? You're alive. You're out of the city. Things are looking up for you. No one's been hanged. I mean, that's huge.
Don't jinx it for me, okay?
I was surprised we didn't get hung.
I mean, it was very much on that bone field roll. All right. So everybody makes their way to, well, I guess the three of y'all make it to the aviary first, with Escalade pulling up the rear. And I'm just reminded about break time, which is what I was just thinking of. So I think the three of you pull up, and it looks like there had been fighting in the upstart, unnamed village outside of the aviary. It's much less populated. There are obvious like bullet holes in some of the buildings. And with that, I think we're going to go to break.
Thank you so much, guys, for joining us for yet another XP Guild show. If you are enjoying this, please do us a favor, click like, subscribe, hit the bell notification if you want to be notified when our next show goes live. Feel free to drop us a comment. We'd love to hear from you guys, hear your thoughts on the show, or anything else you want to talk about. I'd like to take a quick moment to say thank you to our friends over at Hero Forge, a Sky Castle LLC product. We are not sponsored by them, but if you're looking for great custom miniatures, check out HeroForge.com. They've been so kind to let us use their art, as many of the miniatures and artwork that we use come from their website with their permission. However, they have not reviewed our content, and so what we do does not necessarily represent their views or beliefs. Again, thank you to Hero Forge. Now, let's get back to the show.
Welcome everyone back. We had a little longer break than anticipated, so let's jump right back into it. So, I was sort of thinking here, and nobody look at Spaz's character, down there. Just thought I'd point that out. So we now have Spaz and Sir seem to be cured of their weird nanite brain disease. Everybody has safely made it out of the blocks. No one's been hanged or anything. But it did appear there was some kind of fight outside excuse me, outside of the aviary here. So, what's going on? And I think Josh kind of peeks out of the gate at the aviary after a little bit.
I kind of like, I wave him over.
He quickly runs over. Oh my God, Amelia, I am so happy that you made it back safe.
I bring him into my arms and I give him the biggest hug.
Yeah, he like, the moment you like hint at a gesture of a hug, he's like in your arms.
What happened? There's bullet holes out here.
Yeah, it started as a fight between one of the faithful and one of the people in the city out here. I mean, she accused him of like of cheating her, and a fight broke out, and yeah, a bunch of people left, and yeah, it wasn't good.
Is she still here?
No, she was one of the people that left.
We don't need people starting fights. So.
I know. It's just, tensions ran high, and it just, I don't know. It happened so quickly. I couldn't, diffuse the situation, unfortunately.
It's okay. I kind of look around to see how many of the newer members are still here, like outside, or if they're all gone.
So for this little village outside the city, I mean, it's like at least half the size it was.
Mm-hmm.
And Josh says like a fifth of the faithful have left.
If a fifth of our flock has left, that is their choice, but that means there's no reason that we can't bring these people inside of our walls now. We've got the space for it. There's no reason for us not to live as one.
Are we sure it's safe? I know we were pretty picky about who we were letting in previously.
The tower is falling, and there will be people ambushing us, possibly. At some point, we need all the help we can get. And if we show these people comfort and give them a home and the help that they need, then maybe they'll help us. Maybe they'll be us. We didn't... Josh, I pulled you and Lily out of the streets, and neither of you were in, let's be honest, the best of shape.
I know, you're right, Amelia. I'm just scared. Like, there's just so much going on. Like the rumors coming out of the blocks so that they're like militarizing. And then the fight broke out here, and I don't know, it's just...
They are militarizing in the blocks. Or they were until, like, I told them that the tower was falling, and then panic broke, and there's riots happening.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, did you say the tower's falling? The tower?
The tower is actively falling.
And he looks up, in the sky.
Please tell me it falls right when he looks. Can I, will the maelstrom to, bring it down?
Actually, Spaz.
Mm-hmm.
You're thinking about this, and you're looking at the tower, and I think, you've got this, calculations going on in your head, and you're like, if I estimate the size of the tower times the average density, and it can't be too dense because it's falling in the air, but it's very large, and if it fell plummeted to the earth at 9.8 meters per second squared, and your eyes fucking go wide, and everybody else sees Spaz's eyes go wide.
Spaz, you okay there, bud? Sir, do you know how to handle this?
This one's a little new for me, too.
If I'm there, I'm gonna slap him.
Ah!
So
Is Escalade there?
So Spaz, I think you kind of realize that if the tower were just to plummet to the earth, the sheer kinetic energy of the impact, due to the size of this like floating city, would devastate everything in the surrounding region.
After Escalade slaps me, I like blinking. We've got to run! We've got to run far, far away!
Is it going to come down on the aviary?
Everything's dead!
I'm gonna read can I read a sitch to see if, like, I believe him?
You can, well, you'd read a person.
Read a person. Thank you. Yeah. Eight total.
Right, ask one question.
Oh boy. Trying to find the questions. Curse me for not having them up.
I'll post them in chat.
I appreciate you so much for doing that. Is your character really telling the truth? Like, will it wipe out the aviary? Or do severe harm to it?
Yes. Everything's decimated.
Got it.
In Spaz, like, yeah, it's like you're sort of realizing that the amount of kinetic energy it could hit, like, the pits, and it would literally, like it wouldn't create a crater, like, as big as the entire region, but the amount of kinetic energy would, like, destroy everything in the region and kick up, like, huge amounts of, like, dust in the air.
We're all dead!
Got it. Josh, grab everybody, bring them out here, and tell them to pack supplies, and I will explain when they get to the gate.
We gotta go!
We're going! I'm not leaving without my people.
Wouldn't it be...
Now, I will say, Spaz, you probably do... That's only if it falls out of the sky. It might be possible to land it.
Yeah,
somehow.
Sarah was just gonna say, wouldn't it be, if you've already been up there, couldn't you stop it? Do you not know how to do that, Amelia, my dear?
I went up there. I tried. I don't think that there's going to be a storm anytime soon to charge our batteries. I don't see it being a feasible plan. Right. Unless I get Spaz up there.
Spaz charge it? He charged Roland's battery, didn't he?
You need batteries charged? What?
And I'm just kind of like gonna unload my pockets of the empty batteries, and it's presumably the same ones Roland had, correct?
You have one battery.
I didn't keep the empty cartridges.
The other two batteries were in the ship.
Right.
Or the two different ships. And yeah, the one in the rifle, which you got the rifle back.
I'm gonna pop the battery out of the rifle and hand it over to Spaz.
Oh, yeah, I know how to charge these. These are easy. Escalade can drive it.
And so both Escalade and Amelia, I mean, you both remember the engineering room that the reactor was offline, and it was a huge wall of batteries charging all kinds of different systems on the ship. So you don't know, like, how much one battery gets you, even if fully charged.
Baz.
Yeah.
There's an entire room, wall to wall, with batteries.
Uh-huh.
We'd need an insane power source just to keep it up.
We're not keeping it up. We just need to steer it down, like Like dropping a leaf on the wind.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, exactly. Maybe not keep it up, but at least, you know, make it fall slowly.
Yeah, I just want to say that, like, leaf on the wind doesn't bode well for the driver.
Our driver can't drive anyway.
I pat Escalade. It'll be okay, buddy. You got this.
I'm gonna hand Spaz the battery.
Okay, so we need to get up there. Did y'all?
I'm not coming with you.
I thought you had a robot, though. Can't they land?
There's a robot.
The robot is powered off. Spaz.
Okay. There's a lot of things that people are saying that hadn't told me yet. What's going on?
Spaz, and I'm gonna grab him by his face and get like forehead to forehead.
Ah.
There is a vehicle on top of Sir's establishment that has a battery inside of it.
Yeah.
You could take the battery that I've handed you with a small amount of charge and get up there and figure things out, but I am not coming with you. That vehicle only fits 2 people, and one of those seats are already taken by a robot.
We'll take out the robot.
Yes, but still, only 2 people can go up.
Yeah, you and Spaz, right? Because you know your way around up there.
I'm not going back up there. I'm not going into that death trap.
I'm not going back up there and facing the horrors I have brought upon
my own actions.
Well, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions, no, I'm avoiding them. If you cannot do this, because there's no guarantee that you can, I need to get my people out of here.
Yeah, that's fine. I just need Escalade.
All right, bye.
Damn, just like that. Okay.
I walk over, I kiss Escalade.
That still doesn't help though, but thanks.
Good luck.
I walk over to Sir. Okay, so if she starts seeing Toby / what's his fucktard face, just slap her.
Gotcha.
And then if you can, find a cattle prod and electrocute her a couple of times.
You know, I don't know about a cattle prod, but I know there's definitely some electrocuty things around here.
Yeah, so just electric. It won't be as sophisticated as what I built for us, but if you do it like 4 or 5 times, it should snap her too.
Well, yep, I can certainly try that.
Okay. You were awesome, by the way.
Yeah, you're not so bad yourself, you know. I'm really glad that we got the chance to bond a little bit more.
Yeah. If I die, you can have my shop.
Well, if you die, I think the rest of us are probably also going to die, and your shop as well as mine will no longer be there. So I really need you to succeed because I really like my shop. But also he's like looking at like the faded burn marks. He's like, if this scars, we're gonna have to have another chat.
Oh no! You could get a tattoo.
See, I already have several of those, and I just don't know if this is, these are the spots I want them at the moment.
Oh,
so
okay.
Question. Yeah. Do we have to leave now, or can we rest a bit? Because some of us almost died not long ago. So,
well, you know what? If you could just drive and not crash, I think you would have been
what?
A little bit better. No offense, Escalade. I like
Escalade
you, but every time I've been in a vehicle with
okay.
you, something seems to happen, and I'm just questioning your credentials at this point.
Does Escalade have any harm that I could help?
I don't know. What are you at, Escalade?
No, I had 2 before. I remember each session you said if he was, I would get rid of one, so I'm good now.
If I'm able to use that healing thing again, I'd like
You're at 2 now, or you were?
No, it was
3?
like 3 sessions ago. I was at 2 of them.
Oh, okay.
So the only person that possibly needs help is Spaz.
Yeah.
I'd like to go over.
Yeah, and so Sir is at 2, which will heal over time, but Spaz is at 3, which will not.
I'm gonna go back over and just kind of cup his cheek again. bring him, like, I'm gonna do what I did earlier. Hands on the face, forehead to forehead.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'd like to roll.
Go for it.
So. Do I have any pluses?
Don't think you do.
That's a 7.
7's not terrible. All right, you rolled a partial success. So, you heal 1 segment, but you're also opening your brain, so roll that move next.
And that is a 6.
Excellent. So on a miss for opening your brain to the world's psychic maelstrom, be prepared for the worst. So what is going to be the worst in this case? Okay. I know what the worst is. I'm trying to think if you notice anything happening, or
I start seeing Toby and giggles.
Amelia gets this sudden, intense feeling that going back to the blocks, it's like this intense sense of dread. Like, you do not want to go back there.
Absolutely. Yeah, no.
I think the question is do you keep this to yourself or do you communicate it? And I think maybe people notice, you do your healing Toby thing, and then you just kind of take a step back a little, almost like you're startled. But I mean, everybody else notices the burn marks on Spaz's skin don't look as bad.
I think I kind of step back a little shaken, and then just, if I wasn't fully firm on before about not going to the blocks and about not going to the tower, Amelia is set in stone at this point, is taking her people and leaving and getting as far as they can.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm gonna go do this with Spaz, could you at least give me some armor, weapons, whatever you can provide?
I look at him, I look at the gun that I already threw him, and I look back at him and go, because of you, I lost everything we stole, so...
Don't you got stuff in there?
We're keeping it.
Okay, fine.
I'm not trying to be a dick, but
No,
if we run into raiders, your crew, I'm good.
They're not gonna go after you.
I don't know that. And I think Amelia is just gonna head into the aviary and help people start packing things, getting horses ready, getting carts ready.
I think for Amelia, I mean, a lot of people, you get the sense a lot of people who are in the aviary, a lot of, anxiety and fear from them, and they see you, packing things up. And there's a lot of, murmuring about...
Trying to find the right tab. There we go. Honestly, with everybody there, I think I'd like to frenzy my own people.
Okay.
And that's an 8.
All right. So yeah, you get 1. So you get 1 of the items from the list.
People in the blocks are scattering, and the tower is possibly falling, and it will destroy or break up anything in this region. I want to get you all to safely as quickly as possible. And I think I would like to bring forward all of their precious things to pack.
So yeah, everybody is bringing forward everything they own and packing them on horses and carts and various things to pack up the aviary.
And I think Amelia is just going to focus on that.
What's Sir doing in all of this?
Gonna call Brewster for sure with the radio, and he's just gonna tell him, like, you know, things aren't looking great. I'm sure you've seen the panic, at least if you can get a hold of Brewster. He's like, yeah, if you can get everyone, including yourself, like, out of the club and start heading towards the aviary maybe, or, you know, just out very, very far from the blocks in case shit goes down, but, you know, preferably come to the aviary because that's where I am.
So yeah, Brewster picks up the phone and he sounds a little off, and he's just like, "No can do, boss. We're all staying here.
Okay. That's fair.
You should come back. It's safe here."
Can I read a person?
You can absolutely read a person.
Lovely. Oh god, what status is this? Nope, that's only a 4.
All right. On read a sitch. You can ask one anyway, but be prepared for the worst.
Is he telling the truth?
Absolutely. He talks about how there was a panic earlier, but things are back to normal, and that the blocks are the safest place to be right now.
Okay. Well, if you feel that safe about it, sure. But I still encourage you to stay indoors just in case. You know, I might be around in a couple of days. I'm helping Amelia out with something at the aviary right now. So, you know, as per usual, I guess just hold down the fort for me. I'll be back in a couple of days, I guess.
Sounds good, boss. You know, gonna miss you tonight. Big party planned, but see you soon.
Yep. I'll see you then. Take care of yourself at the club for me, as always.
Yep.
Thanks a lot, Brewster. I'll be in touch soon.
Sounds good.
Interesting. Okay. Well, he's gonna give Spaz and Escalade both a little kiss on the cheek and be like, okay, well, you guys better succeed because I would like to go back to my establishment, which, you know, apparently is a safe place, but, I'm gonna stay here and help Amelia with some things for now, but please, you know, take a radio with you.
Yeah.
Save us all, you know?
We'll try.
Again, I like my establishment. I like where I live. I enjoy the people around, so you know, do your best. You know.
Yeah. Will do.
And Spaz and Escalade, y'all are heading to the blocks?
Actually, well, one Escalade's not gonna ride bitch, so he's gonna make him jump in the cart. But he's gonna he's gonna go find his vehicle, and he's gonna radio Scarlet, see if he can get her help getting back into the the blocks.
Scarlet here, why are you fucking calling me?
As much as you hate to hear this, I need your help one more time, or we're all gonna die.
You need my help, or we're all going to die. I don't know. Actually, from my point of view, things are looking pretty fine where I'm at right now. You know, got a big haul on that raid the other week.
You should go outside and look up. The tower is falling, and if it lands here, it's gonna destroy this whole area.
How would you even possibly know that?
Because I was there not long ago. Don't ask, just...
And if it falls, what is it going to do? Crash into the mountain or something?
Just think about it. From that height, all that mass, it's...
What am I, some sort of, like, science person to you?
No, but I have a science person with me who thinks it's going to blow everything to Kingdom Come, so...
I don't think it is.
You heard him.
Oh, well...
I'm pretty sure you want to live, so...
That is fair. I do want to live. And what do you... So, assuming your friend is right, what do you plan to do?
I'm gonna drive it and crash it somewhere else where it's not gonna destroy you guys. In the city.
Safely.
You're going to drive into a giant floating tin can in the sky.
Like a leaf on the wind.
Okay. One, I'm not sure how you're gonna do that. Two, I still don't understand where I come in.
Well, the update is, I was in the tower. I crashed under one of those things into a building. I almost got hanged. They want my ass in the blocks. But the vehicle I need to get back in the tower is in the blocks, so I need help getting into the vehicle. The good thing is that everybody's panicking, so there's a better chance to, you know, get in there, I guess.
So you want to fight your way back into the blocks?
Well, hopefully I don't have to fight my way in, but if I have to, I need help.
Okay. All right. Okay. Last time we did this little adventure into the blocks, you had a tank, and my understanding is you no longer have a tank. So that was kind of the X factor that made that whole plan work in the first place. And without said X factor, it sounds like maybe we're back to suicide mission territory of assaulting the blocks.
Well, not exactly. Like I said, everybody's panicking, so it's just in case, you know, something happens. Like I said, it's up to you. If you don't want to, it's fine.
What is in this for me?
What do you want?
Well, I mean, I'm sitting on a nice haul of treasure from the last assault, so I'm not sure, you know, I need to increase the size of my hoard this time. I don't know.
Oh.
Assaulted one time. It was admittedly really fun. The assault of a lifetime, the raid of a lifetime. But you know, after you do it once, it kind of loses its luster. Like, I need to
escalate.
Something new.
Escalate.
Yeah.
Tell her we'll give her that robot.
Oh, I have a robot. You want it?
What the fuck is a robot?
You don't know what a fucking robot is? It's a metal man, you know, a machine.
A metal man.
A robot.
Does it talk?
Yes, you just gotta have the boys fix it. It needs to be charged.
So like literally a man, but machine.
It's an intelligent machine that, yeah.
What the fuck am I supposed to do?
I don't know, make it your fucking butler or something.
Tell her it'll scare people.
I already scare people. Why do I need someone to do that for me?
If anything, you can have the boys program it to be like your ultimate weapon, and then it can kill shit for you. There you go.
Wait. First you're telling me it could be my butler. Now you're telling me it could be like an ultimate.
It can be whatever you want. It's a robot. You can program it.
Well, one, I don't think I can program it.
You
That's a
got
little outside my wheelhouse.
You have 2 guys in there that come from the tower themselves. They know all that shit.
I totally forgot the names of.
It's Brandon and Jerry.
Brandon and Jerry. Hey Brandon, you know anything about a metal man who could be my butler and the ultimate warrior? Like, you hear this like, you mean a robot? Yeah, a robot. A metal man. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
You should let them know that I went to their home.
He says they know of robots that are more like servants, not ultimate warriors.
Okay.
Look, I'm gonna be honest here. This isn't doing it for me. Like, unless you can like really sweeten the pot here, like,
what will
let's
do
just
it
be real.
for you?
I mean, I think you're ultimately trying to manipulate her into helping you again. So, sounds like a plus hot.
Actually, since I manipulate her a bunch of times, I think this time I want to like switch it up. I'm gonna be like, "What do you want from me?" Yes, it is. I want to like give her like a sultry voice, like, "What do you want from me?" Like, hey.
So what you're offering her is sex, basically.
Hey, I mean, I'm gonna die, so might as well.
All right, roll for it. Also, it's still plus hot.
I rolled a 12 on that one, so
damn.
Plus 1, so 13.
Yeah, I think she's just like, oh. You know,
I'll be a gasol and I'll be like, I'm pretty sure you got tired of the twins by now, so.
It's like, all this time, we've never fucked.
Well,
you're
you never asked if you would have had, you know?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Fuck it, why not? I need a good lay.
Really? Oh, that's all it took? God damn.
Yeah, where do you want to meet?
I'm getting my vehicle. I'll go to you, and then we'll go from there.
All right.
We gotta save everybody before you fuck.
So are you getting your Escalade first?
Yeah, I'm gonna grab her from the spot that she was hiding the ship before. Yeah.
So Spaz, I assume you're going along with this. Let's get his Escalade and then go pick up the raiders.
Spaz is like looking at Escalade and going, "We gotta go up top. We can't light. Time limits."
We're going nowhere. Listen, we got a vehicle, so we can do things on the go.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, I don't. Okay. Yeah. Spaz just gets in his usual spot in the Escalade.
This is horrible. I'm in this bike with this like man with a diaper and a freaking unicorn helmet on. What has my life become?
So you go pick up the Escalade, you drive out to the farm where the raiders are, and yeah, Brandon, Jerry, and Scarlet are packed up and ready to go. I assume, Escalade, you're going to drive the car, or Escalade's going to drive the Escalade, and Spaz is going to be on the bike, and Scarlet and her gang jump in the Escalade.
I was wondering if possible, since I would be over there, would I be able to get equipment or
What kind of equipment do you want?
armor, a gun, maybe some something to heal myself with?
You can get some armor. Healing will take time. You have a high-tech rifle, unless you want a side piece or something.
Yeah, I'll probably take a handgun just in case, because this thing has like limited ammunition.
Yeah, I think you can get like some sort of.
Yeah, the healing. I'm not gonna worry about it. We got no time.
Yep. Yeah, so you are armored up in like 2 armor, so like visible armor, like the raiders are wearing. Yeah. That is a good point. Steph raises is you need the battery for the. I'm sorry. Random person in the chat said, yeah, you need the battery to pilot the ship.
Can I take it from the gun and
You sure can.
Okay, I'll do that. That's fine. I had a normal rifle earlier anyway, so I'm good.
Yep. So yeah, you get a regular rifle and some sort of handgun. And they pack on the Escalade, and are y'all driving straight to the blocks?
Yeah, but I think since Escalade thinks that he might die there, as horrible as this is gonna sound, he's gonna make like the twins go up front, and one of them can die. He's like, look, this is not the way I wanted to do it, but I might die, so we might as well do it here on the way there.
Yeah, the twins go up front, and you have very non-private sex with Scarlet in the back.
It's probably horrible too.
And she's probably I think she's the one that does this too. Is that when you arrive at the farm, the twins jump in the front, and she like grabs you and throws you in the back.
I was gonna say, I'm probably getting manhandled. It's horrible to watch.
So yeah, what is your basic approach going to be here? Are you driving like just up to the gates of the blocks, or what's going on?
How many, like, was it just 2 gates to get there, or? So
there are 3 main entrances. There were 2 like large roads on the east and west. The west entrance is where you drove the tank in, and that's where like vehicle traffic would go in and out of the city. And then there is like a smaller entrance on the north side where like foot and bike traffic would go.
Yeah, that's to the north side.
But you know that you basically can't enter the city in a like large vehicle anymore.
Okay. Yeah, I think the north side so that way we can park it and just, walk in there and hopefully shit works.
So you're just gonna walk up to the door and be like, "Let us in."
I thought that the doors were open because people were panicking trying to get the fuck out.
Maybe they are.
Well, we'll find out one way or another. So yeah.
All right. So yeah, you pull the Escalade like right up to this like gate on the northern entrance of the blocks, and you get out. And like you see a single guard standing inside the guard station, and they're like motioning you in.
Sure. Go in.
Welcome, travelers. What brings you to the blocks?
You're probably not gonna believe me, but I need to get in a vehicle so I can get up there and make sure I get that thing away from here so we all don't die.
Okay, 1 second.
Oh boy.
Yes. Toby? We have visitors here at the gates.
What?
And the guard just kind of like holds up a finger. It's like, one second, sir. Let them in? Okay, will do. Please come into our fair city.
Am I tripping? Do you said Toby?
Of course. Toby's back. Didn't you hear?
How?
He came back. I don't understand the question. He said he
Right.
wants to meet you personally.
Oh, of course. Well, thanks for letting us in.
So, do y'all walk into the city?
I mean, do we have a choice?
You always have a choice.
Oh, yeah, I'll walk into the city, but I'm definitely not planning on going to Toby's mansion, that's for sure.
Yeah. Is Spaz? Are you entering the city?
They're not they're not letting big vehicles in, but
Large vehicles can't get in.
okay, but I'm still on my motorcycle.
In this entrance, only it's like foot traffic only.
Okay, and with that, I grab Escalade and pull it off to the side. Ah! Some shit went down when we were escaping.
Please elaborate.
You know how I wander sometimes, but I'm actually really there?
I mean, all the time, yeah, sure.
Yeah, and then sometimes I go from one place to another place and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this place I go to, that's where Toby / what's his fuck ended up at. And maybe when we were like quickly escaping, because a lot of times I don't even remember how I do this or how this happens or what the fuck. So maybe something didn't get shut, you know, kind of like a door.
Right.
And I think it got out.
Okay. Well, as much as I would love to kill Toby again, we have bigger things to worry about, so but we get in there,
Yeah,
and then we get to where we need to go.
Yeah, I think we need to go like the exact opposite way that, yeah.
We will, don't worry. We got feet. We can run through the alleys. We'll figure it out, buddy. It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, why don't you, like, when we run in there, you make sure that you're, like, on the opposite side of them, so that way if anybody gets hit, it's us and not you.
Yeah, I don't need to get shot again.
Yeah, so...
That shit was painful. Okay. You know where you're going, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Oh yeah, we're going in.
All right, so I think all the Scarlets just kind of leans over and says, "This shit is fucked."
Everything's fucked.
Yeah, I was a little. I didn't believe you.
It's okay.
I don't know what I'm seeing here. I think I'll believe anything. All right, lead the way, leper boy.
So what's happening once we go in there?
So yeah, y'all walk in, and when you walk out into this main street out of the northern entrance, and it's basically like you see like on either side of the street like people posted up, like every so many feet, and it's just a citizen there, gun, rifle on their back, kind of almost like standing at attention. Like they're pointing the way almost.
Oh boy.
And as you're I assume you want to head to essentially Sir's club to get to the roof.
Yeah.
at the point where you need to turn off, if you try to turn off this like path they've laid for you, the closest person will like before they're kind of like just looking straight ahead, but they'll look over and they'll hold their hand up and it's like, oh no, not that way, please, this way.
Yeah, 1 second. He's gonna turn around and get as close as he can to Scarlet, and he's gonna whisper, do we want to try to run for it, or do we humor them?
Oh, you're saying this to Scarlet, not Spaz?
Yeah, no, not Spaz.
I think Scarlet's just like, this is the weirdest shit I have ever seen.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they'll shoot us if we...
Well, listen, I don't want to get you killed, so that's why I'm asking you.
Well,
unless you want to kill him, then, you know...
I don't know, they almost look dead already.
Okay, how about this? Why don't we try to find an alley, and then we can book it, and if anything, we can try to, like, you know, shoot them, run, and see what happens?
What about a distraction?
Distraction's good, yeah. You got something in mind?
Well, grenades. One of us talks to him. The rest of us slip by. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, let's try talking. If that don't work, we can try the grenade.
All right, after you. You're the talker, not me.
Yeah, I want to go somewhere where I can find an alley that would lead me close to Sir's club, and just go to the person. And we don't really want to disrespect Toby, so I just want to go to my buddy's past place here, and we got some clothing in there. We just want to change and look nice for him.
You mean Sir's place?
Oh, yeah, sure. I don't say Sir's place, yeah.
Yeah, and I think what it is like when you get to the alleyway that turns off towards Sir's place, you see Brewster is who is posted up there. And I think Brewster's like, oh yeah, good call. You should look your best for Toby.
Oh yeah,
come with me.
I don't want to disappoint him. I just gotta look at Scarlet like, look at Toby.
She kind of shrugs. So yeah, Brewster leads you back towards Sir's club. And he's like, you know, here's the changing room. There are plenty of costumes, you know, or good attire if you want to, you know, look your best. Maybe avoid the fetish wear, of course. But it's like, yeah, it's a single, like, I don't know, maybe 10 by 15 room that's got like, you know, it's almost like if it were like Broadway or something. It's like a backstage changing room kind of thing. Gotcha. And there are like various like freestanding like closets with various clothes and stuff in them.
I do have a question. Is it just him in here, or is there a lot of people?
Right now, I mean, what time did you come out here? Is maybe the better question.
Probably I would say not dark, but like 5, 6-ish.
Okay. So I think the club opens up pretty late, but it's like maybe close to opening time. So yeah, maybe no patrons are here. Well, I take this all back. Just thinking about what have I established? Nobody is here. It's just Brewster and you guys. Okay,
I'm just gonna tell him. Would you mind going downstairs and like maybe grabbing us a drink and give us a little privacy? Some of us are a little shy changing in front of people.
Oh you can. There'll be plenty of drinks at Toby's.
Okay. Will you mind giving us the privacy real quick, though?
Oh, of course. And he steps out of the room and closes the door.
Okay. Once he starts, like, I notice that he's leaving, then we're gonna just fucking book it to the ship.
So this room has a single entrance. So I'm sort of imagining this room as like close to the entrance of the club itself, because it's like where people will come in, get changed and stuff, and then head into the kind of the club proper. So yeah, the only way out is the way you came in.
So the way Brewster was speaking and his mannerisms and whatnot.
It was Brewster's voice, but it didn't sound like him.
Can I tell if it was the robot?
Well,
The nanobot?
I think you would have to read a person.
Okay. Okay. So,
Yeah.
read a person?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Wait, give me 1 second. 13.
You get 3 questions from the list. Do you have the list?
I do not have the list.
First.
Sorry.
How dare you?
I know, heaven forbid. So the
Do you
first
see it
one,
in the chat?
yeah.
Yeah.
Is, okay, what does your character? How could I get you? Okay, what's your character really feeling?
Yeah, I think
Go ahead.
you get the sense that Brewster has a kind of flattish affect.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of calm. Almost like he's following a script.
Okay. What does your character intend to do?
It tends to take you to Toby.
Yep. I guess the next one is how could I get your character to question mark.
It's what do you want? You want a thing for him to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're asking, how do I get you to do what I want?
I guess, how could I get him to wait somewhere else so we can slip out?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it seems like he wants to make sure you go to Toby, and so he is basically like keeping his eye on you, or is like, let you be in the changing room where there's no way to get out without him knowing.
I'm going to look around the room. Is there like a breaker box or anything of that nature in this room?
I mean, I wouldn't think you would have. This is where you'd keep a breaker box. It's probably like, I would imagine in like some sort of utility room, maybe off the kitchen would make the most sense. But I mean, there's like obviously lighting in here. There's a light switch. There may be like electrical outlets. Okay. So you could maybe do something like to force like a breaker to flip or to break a fuse or to blow a fuse.
I'm gonna start doing that, grabbing a bunch of wires and whatnot that are live.
Okay.
And
so,
I want to make something.
Oh, what are you making?
I am making something to electrocute someone.
Okay. All right.
Or actually, not electrocute someone. I'm attaching it to the door handle.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, I think maybe like there aren't. Maybe it's like this club. I'm sure. Sir, correct me if I'm wrong, but you probably like a lot of ambiance and a lot of like mood lighting. So not a lot of like big overhead lights, but probably a lot of like lamps and stuff that are like so it's not like super bright in here. So there's probably like there are lights on like individual like vanities, and there are probably some like tall freestanding lamps in the room. So you could probably like cobble something together or like get a cord long enough that you can electrify the door handle.
Okay. Yeah, I do so.
So
yes.
I think this is probably acting under fire, where the fire is not electrocuting yourself.
Okay. Oh shit, I rolled good. And I'm going to officially make it so by taking the advantage from Shadow Soldier PR. So officially I have now a 12.
Great. So yeah, I mean, you find a lamp with a fairly long cord. You like easily like just you probably have a pocket knife or like a pocket knife or something. You pull it out, pull it up, strip the end of the thing off, attach it to the handle, and then plug it in.
Yep. All right. So either we call back what's his face, or we just wait until he comes back. Don't touch that handle.
Yeah. So like you maybe Spaz, you knock on the door and like we're ready, and then he like you hear him grab the doorknob, and you hear this like and you hear like a thud on the floor.
I unplug it.
And the lights in the room like go out.
Tie him up and throw him in this room and lock the door. He should be okay, maybe.
Scarlet, will you be there?
On it, you want to remove that electrocute thing from the doorknob?
Yeah, I already did it.
And on the floor myself.
No, it's done.
All right. So yeah, she pulls out a flashlight, opens the door, and I think out there it's not like power for the entire club went out, but it's more like this section, like the room you're in, the hallway, like the entrance hallway, maybe like it opens up into like lobby area, have all gone out, but you see like light pouring in from another hallway, and her Brandon and Jerry like grab him, throw him in the changing room.
You lead the way, Escalade. I don't know where we're going.
Yeah, I'll take them all to the roof for this thing.
Yep. So you make your way to the roof. You still see the craft that Amelia came down on. You know, Spaz, you're able to figure out where the battery goes with its like little bit of juice left. The whole thing comes on, and yeah, there's still a robot man in the passenger or in the driver's seat, I guess in this case.
You want to help me get your butler out?
Yeah, her and the boys like grab him and pull the thing out, and she's like, "Oh, that's what a robot is. I mean, kind of looks like a man, but not really, I guess, if you squint."
I don't judge. That's all good.
All right. So you are. She makes like flapping gesture. You're up there, right? She points up to the silver tower.
Yeah, he's gonna walk closer to her and give her a hug, and just in case I never see you again.
Shit, Escalade. No, you don't talk like that. You're definitely coming back. So what should we do? We're gonna wait here for you, or I don't know. This place is kind of creepy.
I think you guys should try to get out of here, but why don't you have the boys try to bring that thing back to life? It can, help you guys out.
Sure. Anyway, good luck. And I think when she says good luck though, it's like there's a hint of tenderness in her voice, like a slight warmth in her otherwise very stern heart.
Hell froze over.
Yeah. So yeah, Escalade and Spaz, you get in the thing.
Yep.
Y'all get in the thing, and it powers up. And I think this is a good place to stop. So yeah, thanks everybody for coming to episode 7, or if you're watching this on YouTube at some point in the future. Looks like things are really coming into a head here with Amelia packing up the apiary and trying to get out of Dodge, while Escalade and Spaz are looking for another way to prevent the entire devastation of this region of the world. So we'll see y'all in a week. Bye.